Okay, so we are going to Act 4 now, Scene 1. We only skipped one scene, which is that Portia and Nerissa decide to go and help Bassanio. So they lie to Lorenzo. I'm sorry, not Lorenzo. Graziano. And they tell him that they're going to go live in a monastery until the guys get back, and that they choose to do this in mourning for their husbands being gone, when in reality they are putting on men's clothing and they're going to adopt these male personas because they want to go and help the guys out and save Antonio. Because Portia knows how much he means to Bassanio because they're best friends. Okay, so we are in Act 4, Scene 1, and we're taking place a court of law in Venice. Antonio enters between two guards, followed by Bassanio, Graziano, Salanio, officers and clerks, and finally the Duke. I'm sorry, before they lied to Lorenzo. I was correct the first time. So Graziano is now with Bassanio and Antonio. Remember, they are trying to fight to get Antonio freed from uh, the loan with Shylock, otherwise he's going to have to give up a physical pound of his flesh. Duke, well, is Antonio here? Antonio, ready, your honor. Duke, I am sorry for you. You have come to answer a hard-hearted adversary, an inhuman wretch incapable of pity, totally empty of even a drop of mercy. Antonio, I shall meet his fury. With patience, I'm ready to suffer his rage. With a quietness of spirit. Duke, go, someone, and call the Jew into court. So you see, even the Duke is upholding the laws. He is still judging Shylock for being Jewish, right? Salanio, he is already at the door. He is coming, my lord. Duke, make way for him and let him stand before me. The crowd parts and Shylock stands before the Duke, bowing low. Shylock, the world thinks, and so do I, that you plan to keep up with this malice only until the last minute. Then it's thought that you will show mercy and remorse even stranger than this apparent cruelty. And where you now demand the penalty, a pound of this poor merchant's flesh, you will finally relent, meaning you'll finally give in. Touched with human gentleness and love, you will even forgive part of the original debt. Some say that you will have pity because of the losses that have recently fallen so heavily on him. Such losses would cripple a royal merchant and touch the hardest of hearts. He pauses. We all expect a gentle answer, Shylock. Shylock, I have told your grace my plans. I've sworn by our holy Sabbath to have full payment for default on my bond. If you deny it, let the danger fall upon your city's constitution and freedom. You'll ask me why I chose to have a pound of dead flesh rather than receive 3,000 ducats. I'll not answer that, but say it is my whim. It is answered. What if my house is troubled with a rat? Am I pleased to give 10,000 ducats to have it poisoned? Is that a good answer? Is that answer good? I won't give any other reason, apart from the firm hatred that I have for Antonio, for pursuing a losing battle with him. Are you answered now? Bassanio, this is no answer, you unfeeling man, to make excuses for your cruelty. Shylock, I am not obliged to please you with my answers. Bassanio, do all men kill the things that they do not love? Shylock, wouldn't any man want to kill the thing he hates? Bassanio, not every offense causes hate. Shylock, what? Would you let a snake sting you twice? Antonio to Bassanio, you think you can reason with the Jew. You may as well go stand upon the beach and tell the tide not to reach its usual height. Or you might as well ask the wolf why he has made the ewe cry for its lamb. You may as well forbid the mountain pines to sway or to make a noise when they are buffeted by the winds. Anything that hard you might as well try to do, and as try to soften that hardest thing of all, his heart. Therefore, I beg you, make no more offers. Use no other methods. As soon as possible, let me know the court's decision, and let the Jew have his will. So even though he's like trying to plead don't fight for me. He wants what he wants. They are still showing this hatred. They're still showing this judgment, right? They always refer to him by his religion. They never refer to, like, Shylock, like, we know he's hurt you. We know that, he's wronged you, and, he's sorry. And Antonio never admits that he's sorry. So when Shylock is just digging in his heels more to be like, you know what, he's never admitted he's sorry. He's always attacked me. He's always judged me. He's always put me down. He's always attacked me. How else would you react? Kind of a thing. Bassanio, I offer double your 3,000 ducats. Shylock, if every one of your 6,000 ducats were in 6 parts and every part a ducat, I would not take it. I demand my bond. Duke, how can you hope for mercy when you give none? Shylock, what judgment should I dread, having done no wrong? Many among you have slaves. You use them like your dogs and your mules for wretched jobs because you bought them. Shall I say to you, set them free? Marry them to your heirs? Why should they sweat carrying burdens? Let their beds be as soft as yours, and their food as good. You would answer, the slaves are ours. I say the same. So he's trying to make this comparison, like, you're going to judge me for this one bad thing I'm doing when you're also doing bad things, and you would just say, like, well, that's my business, kind of a thing. The pound of flesh which I demand of him is dearly bought. It is mine. I will have it. If you deny me, I scorn your laws. The decrees of Venice have no force. I insist on justice. Answer, shall I have it? Duke, I have no power to dismiss this court, unless Valerio, a learned doctor of law, whom I have sent for to resolve this case, comes here today. Salanio, my lord, a messenger has just come from Padua with letters from the doctor. Duke, bring me the letters. Bassanio, cheer up, Antonio, be brave. The Jew shall have my fresh blood, my flesh, my blood, my bones, and all before you lose one drop of blood for me. Shylock takes out a knife and begins to sharpen it on the soles of his leather shoes. Antonio, I am the weakest ram in the flock, best suited for death. The weakest fruit drops first to the ground, and so let me. You cannot be better used, Bassanio, than to stay alive and write my epitaph, meaning his obituary. Shylock, to cut out my pound of flesh. Gratiano, you sharpen it not on your shoe's sole, but on your immortal soul. No metal, not even the executioner's axe, is half as keen as your sharp envy. Can no prayers touch you? Shylock, none that you have brains to make. Gratiano, damn you, you stubborn dog. Justice is to blame for letting you live. I almost doubt my faith and share the theory that the souls of animals can enter men. Your spirit comes from a wolf whose soul, when he was hanged for killing humans, fled into the womb of your unholy mother and settled into you. Your desires are wolfish, bloody, mean, and hungry. Shylock, until you can remove the seal from my bond, you merely damage your lungs. To speak so loud, I'm here for justice. Duke, this letter is from Valerio. Commands a young and learned doctor to law to our court. Where is he? So remember, Nerissa was disguising as a man. Nerissa and Portia are the doctor and his assistant. Nerissa, he is waiting nearby to hear your answer. Will you admit him? Duke, with all my heart. 3 or 4 of you go and escort him to this place. Attendants leave. Now the court shall hear Valerio's letter. He reads, Your Grace, when your letter arrived, it was very sick, but when your messenger came, a young doctor of law from Rome was visiting me. I told him of the lawsuit between Shylock and Antonio. We consulted many books together. I have asked him to come to you in my place. I beg you do not underestimate him because of his lack of years. I never knew so young a body with so odd a head. I trust you will accept him. His performance will speak for himself. He looks up. You hear what Valerio has written. Portia enters dressed as a judge carrying a law book. And here, I take it, is the doctor himself. He greets her. Give me your hand. They shake. You came from old Valerio? Portia. I did, my lord. Duke. You are welcome. Take your place. A court usher guides Portia to a desk near the Duke. Are you familiar with the case before the court? Portia. Yes, I am. Which is the merchant and which is the Jew? Antonio and Shylock stand up, says the Duke. Portia, is your name Shylock? Shylock is my name. Portia, your case is unusual, but it is sound enough that the Venetian laws cannot stop you from proceeding. To Antonio, you stand in some danger from him, do you not? Antonio, yes, so he says. Portia, do you admit to that bond? Do you admit to the bond? Antonio, I do.